Good afternoon or morning, whatever evening, whatever time it is back in your time. Today we're going to be learning something called factor label, and it's a way of converting between one unit to another. Very, very useful. And usually I start out with handing kids out these cards. These single shape cards are the starting cards, and then these double shape cards are my bridge cards. I'm not giving you the cards because, well, you're not here. But we'll just kind of briefly mention what we would do. So how you play the game is you start with the starting card, and then you want to get to a finishing shape. Okay, so you start with your starting card, and you look for the bridge card that will get you from one shape to the other. So this one, I put the yellow circle down here, cancels with the yellow circle up here, and then leaves me the red square. So this is how the game is played. You cancel out the shapes, and then what's left over is what you got. So if we start with these cards here, we want to start with a blue hexagon, and we want to get to pink parallelogram. So start with the blue hexagon. Then you play your card. You look for a card that's got both shapes in it that you want. And we play, so the blue hexagon cancels because it's on bottom, and this one is on top. When something is on top and something's on bottom, they cancel, and leaves me with the pink parallelogram. Notice that you can play these cards either way, but you want to play them so that the shape gets canceled out. Okay. You can also use more than one card at a time. So if I want to get from gray plus sign to red square, I can't do that in one card. I've got to do that in two cards. So, and again, notice that the shape is canceling. The one on top cancels with the one on bottom. So, gray plus gets me to yellow circle, and then yellow circle gets me to red square. So, and again, these cancel out here. So that is how the game is played. This is just another example of that. You can play any number of cards that you want to get from one shape to another, but the key thing is that one shape on top and cancels out with one shape on the bottom. So that's usually a little more meaningful if we actually do it, but basically that's my introduction to factor label, and it's a way of converting between one unit and another unit. We looked at converting metric units, and all we had to do was move the decimal place. But you know, the truth is that the whole world doesn't use metric system. Most of it does, but not the English, not us. So anyway, this ends up being very, very useful. Instead of having these color-coded cards, you're going to have these conversion factors. You do not need to memorize these conversion factors. I will always give these to you. You do not need to memorize these. But these play just like the cards, where we've got one thing equals another thing, and you can play these cards with, so this is 1 foot equals 12 inches. We can play the 1 foot on top and the 12 inches on bottom, or we can play the 12 inches on top and the 1 foot on bottom. How we want to play the card is that we want to cancel, and what we want to cancel is the unit. So if I want to, this is how you're going to do these. So convert 3.5 feet into inches. So what you do is you take what you're given, which is 3.5 feet. Okay, you put it over 1. Why? Because it makes us happy. Okay, that's just what you do. You put it over 1. You put a little fraction sign. Okay, and then we want to play the card so that we cancel. So I've got 1 foot. I want to go from feet into inches. So I look for a card that's got feet and inches. So here's my card that's got feet and inches. And which way should I play this card? I want to cancel out the feet. I want to get rid of the feet. So should I play it on the left here, or should I play it on the right? Okay. If I want to cancel out the feet, I want to play it like on the right, because I want my feet to be on bottom to cancel out with my feet on top. So, and this is what it's really going to look like. So 3.5 feet, okay, feet cancel, okay, and I multiply that by 12 inches, and we get 42 inches. So what you do is, once you've got this set up, you multiply the numbers that are on top and you divide by the numbers that are on bottom. You can ignore the 1. So 3.5 times 12, okay, gives me 42 inches. And notice I kept 2 sig figs. No, don't worry too much about sig figs on this, but you do want to keep that in the back of your mind. So here's another example. We want to convert 3.6 grams into pounds. So take what you're given, put it over 1. Okay. All right, make a little multiplication sign and then another fractiony thing next to it. And then we look for the card that's going to get us from grams to pounds. So ideally, there's one conversion that'll get us from grams to pounds. So we're in math. So 1 pound equals 454 grams. Okay, that's got grams and pounds in it, so that should work. So the next thing we want to do is figure out which way we want to play our card. Okay, we want to cancel out with grams, which means we want the 454 grams to be on bottom. Okay, and the other side goes on top. Okay, then we cancel out our units. Okay, grams cancels, just like the shapes canceled. Okay, and then what we do is we multiply the numbers across the top and divide by the numbers that are on bottom. Okay, you can ignore the ones. So 3.6 divided by 454. Okay, so 3.6 times 1 divided by 1 divided by 454. You can ignore the ones because they don't do anything. And then we'll round this answer to 2 sig figs because we started with 2 sig figs. So when you're dealing with sig figs with factor label, you just want to keep as many as you start with. That's just an easy rule of thumb. Okay. How many miles is 35 kilometers? So let's look at that. So remember the first step? Take what you're given, put it over 1. So 35 kilometers, put it over 1. Then what we want to do is try to go from kilometers to miles. Okay, is there any place that'll take us from kilometers to miles in one shot? If we look down here, okay, 1 mile equals 1.61 kilometers. So take what you're given, 35 kilometers, put it over 1, draw the multiplication symbol, and then draw the line. And then we play our card so that 1.61 kilometers is on bottom and miles is on top. Okay, so then to put this in our calculator, it's 35 divided by 1.61. Even though there's a time symbol, we're dividing because the 1.61 is on bottom. Okay? And that gives you 21.739, which will round to 2 sig figs. So just round that to 22 miles. Okay, let's convert inches into meters. All right, 21,900 inches. Take what you're given, put it over 1. Okay, draw the multiplication symbol and draw the line. Oops. Now we want to go from inches to meters. So let's see. Inches takes us to feet, or inches takes us to centimeters. Which one of those is going to be more useful? Probably if we take inches to centimeters, then centimeters will take us to meters here. Okay, so this is a two-step problem. So we want to go from inches to centimeters, okay, and then from centimeters to meters. So now we got to figure out which way to play this card. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So remember, we always want to cancel out. So inches goes on bottom, so 1 inch, and then 2.54 goes on top. Now these inches are going to cancel. And next we want to go from centimeters to meters. So we want to play the card so that the centimeters is on bottom. 100 centimeters is on bottom. 100 centimeters is on bottom. And 1 meter goes on top. And then we put this in our calculator. Okay, and it's 21,900 times 2.54 divided by 100. And that equals, oh, I'm surprised I don't have an answer there. So 21900 times 2.54 divided by 100. So 556.26. So we would round that to 556 for 3 sig figs meters. Okay. Now I can also use these conversion factors that aren't on this list. As long as they're true, they work with factor label. For example, I can convert a year into seconds. Now there's nothing about time over here, but I know 1 year equals 365 days. Okay, the top and the bottom just have to equal each other. 1 year equals 365 days. So I played it so the year cancels down here. And then I know 1 day equals 24 hours. Okay, days cancel. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Hours cancel. 1 minute equals 60 seconds. Minutes cancel, and I'm left with seconds. So that is equal to 31,536,000 seconds. So again, you can use conversion factors that aren't in here as long as they're true. Let's look at this one. So convert 910 kilograms per quart to kilograms per gallon. Now, how did we get the unit kilogram per quart? Well, we took a number with kilograms and we divided it by a number with quarts. Okay. Now this is the exception. Taking what you're given and you put it over 1. Okay. That's if the unit is just a normal unit. If you get what I call a fraction unit, where you've got kilograms per quart, you put you draw it with the unit that's on the bottom of the fraction. You put it on the bottom of the fraction like this. So 910 kilograms per quart. So when you get a fraction unit, draw it like this, where you've got the unit is divided on top and bottom. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to convert to kilograms per gallon. So kilograms stays the same, but I need to convert quarts to gallons. Okay, so let's take a look. 1 gallon, here we go, volume. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. That'll do it. Okay, now how do I want to play this card so that quarts cancels? Okay, I need to play this card where the 4 quarts goes up top, because that I've already got the quart on bottom down here. So in order to cancel it, I need to put the quart on top. So that is that's how you cancel out with a unit that's on the bottom of a fraction. Just put it on top, no big deal. So quarts cancel, okay, and then take 910 times 4, and that gives you 3,640 quarts. Rounding that to 2 sig figs, that should be 3,600 kilograms per gallon. Here's another example. So 7.1 pounds per gallon, convert that to grams per liter. And again, I just worked this one ahead of time. So what we want to do is, since it's a fraction of a unit, okay, we draw our pounds. We draw our pounds on top, and then our gallons on the bottom. Okay. Put your time sign. And then we want to go from pounds to grams, okay, because pounds is on top, grams is on top, so we want to go from pounds to grams. So we look up, and we got 1 pound equals 454 grams. So 1 pound goes on bottom, because I want to cancel out those pounds, and grams, that'll leave me with grams on top, so that cancels. Now here I want to convert gallons to liters. I've got gallons down here. I know that 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Since gallons is down here and I want to cancel it, I need my gallon to be up here, over on this part right down here, and so that'll cancel out. Then I need to convert from quarts to liters. So I play my 1 liter equals 1.057 quarts card. Okay, I play quarts on top to cancel out with the quarts on bottom, and that leaves me in there. So now to put this in my calculator, what I do is I do 7.8 times 454 times 1.057 divided by 4. Okay, and that gives me 935.76 rounded to 940. Now I do want to see work that looks like this. Okay, I want to see the lines. I want to see the multiplication symbols. I want to see the cards being played, the fraction or the conversion factors. You can't just give me an answer. That will not suffice. I need to see the work is correct for this. So just keep that in mind. On the homework and on the test, I'm going to be looking for the work, not just the answers. Answers with no work gets no credit. So keep that in mind. And that is that for factor label. Enjoy your time and do the worksheet that goes along with this.